All right, guys, as we all know, this week has been very eventful. A lot of things have been going on when it comes to the cup matches and the Copa del Rey, or when it comes to the latest transfer news. A lot of movements have been made. So in this video, I'm going to quickly go over those things and give my opinions of what's been going on this week. So let's get straight into it, boys. So, of course, the first eventful thing that happened this week was the round of 16 matches of the Copa del Rey, where Real Madrid played against Albacete and lost 3-2, which was hilarious. A glorious hate watch for anyone that watched that match. And Barcelona defeated Racing Santander, the team in first place of La Segunda, 2-0 goals from Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal. So we can obviously see quite the difference right there. Barcelona played against the team that's in first place, while Real Madrid lost to the team that's in 17th place. You know, there's levels to this shit. But man, this is the glorious thing about the Copa del Rey. Many things can happen in these cup competitions because we all know these lower division teams are going to give 1,000% of themselves to try and get a result, to try to showcase themselves. They're going to give it their all, and we get moments of magic like we saw against Real Madrid, where the shocker, they did get rid of one of the best teams in the world, let alone one of the best teams in La Liga and the competition of the Copa del Rey. And Albacete is the only team from La Segunda to go through to the quarterfinals. The rest of the teams in the quarterfinals are all La Liga teams, all the first division teams. So quite embarrassing for Real Madrid right there. So yeah, we all know that last minute dagger was sensational to watch. And of course, the game against Racing Santander from Barcelona, it was a tough game. We were going again against the team in first place, against a team that defeated Villarreal the round before then. So we knew it was going to be a tough game going away to the ground. They have a beautiful stadium, by the way, some great fans as well. But they gave us a tough game, gave us some moments where we thought, okay, what are we doing here? They might get back into the game. But of course, we have the best goalkeeper in the world, Joao Garcia, coming up big to save us as well. And the last minute dagger from Lamine Yamal in the end to give us the win. But overall, it was a tough game, but in the end, the best always win. Yeah, but guys, we're going to find out the draws of the next round for the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. I think on January 19th is when the draws are going to be made. So we're going to see what we're going to go up against. But we're very heavily favorites for this competition, and I see us winning this competition, really. When I look at the rest of the teams that are still currently in it, like Albacete, Real Betis, Valencia, Deportivo Alavés, Real Sociedad, Atlético Madrid, and Athletic Club, none of them scare me. Even Atletico Madrid. Give us Atletico Madrid in the final. I don't care. But none of these teams scare me, and I'm quite confident that we're going to win the Copa del Rey this year. Of course, adding up to another trophy of what happened a couple weeks before, and even like a week before, when we beat Real Madrid for the Supercopa de España. So this season looking pretty good so far. And for Real Madrid, it's looking quite disastrous already, especially after the sacking of Xabi Alonso. That was hilarious. But yeah, guys, great things happening in the Copa del Rey for the cup competition for us. And the next latest news comes to the transfer news that have been happening. And for this first one, you guys might be thinking, what does that have to do with Barcelona? But I think it has to do quite a bit with Barcelona, considering what we need in the summer. And the first thing is Marc Guehi signing to Manchester City for 20 million. 20 million transfer fee. Now, I know a lot of us were in shock when we saw this, because we were just thinking, like, 20 million? What are we doing here? 20 million. First, it made me sad because I'm like, bruh, Barcelona are that broke that we can't even afford to go and lease into a bidding war. We can at least offer a little 30 mil, a little 40 mil, something like that. Nothing, because we got news earlier, like a couple weeks earlier, where Barcelona were interested in Marc Guehi, that they started talking to his camp to get an idea of what Marc Guehi wanted, what his camp wanted for a potential transfer in the summer. Because the main thing, it was going to happen in the summer. If we were ever going to full on confidently go for Marc Guehi, it was going to be in the summer, never in January, because of course, so far we've only gotten Joao Cancelo, of course, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any other transfer in January. So it was always going to be a summer thing. But since then, the news died down. No other news, no other advancement from Barcelona. If anything, it was completely dying out that Barcelona were ever going to go for Marc Guehi. And the potential of getting Marc Guehi was definitely a very interesting one. I definitely wanted a player like Marc Guehi. He's a very solid defender, a very top-class defender, especially in the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. So when you're Premier League proven, for the most part, you could definitely prove yourself in other top teams as well. And we're seeing that a lot of teams are interested in Marc Guehi, especially the top Premier League teams. We saw in the summer that Liverpool bid on them. I think it was like 40 million or something like that. They definitely bid more than what City are getting for right now, but of course that fell apart in the summer. So it was going to be very interesting to see what the future will for Marc Guehi, because a lot of teams were interested. Even the likes of Real Madrid were interested to pick up Marc Guehi in the summer. But then, boom, we get hit with the news that Manchester City got him in this January transfer window for 20 million. Now, this was complete shocker for me, because I was like, okay, There's no way no other teams have been talking to him. There's no way no other teams have been bidding for him. Why not? Why not Liverpool again? Considering Liverpool's defense this season hasn't been the best, especially Konate, who's been completely dog shit this season. Why has no other top team going for them? Especially like a team like Chelsea. I'm like, bro, Chelsea at least too. No one's going for him. But Fabrizio Romano have reported that City had some advanced talks with Guehi in his camp, and they pretty much got things done out of nowhere, and got him for a very cheap price. And of course, Crystal Palace want to get at least something for him, considering in the summer he was going to be a free transfer. So they sell him for a very low bid. This is some great transfer news for Manchester City. Really, this is a great transfer for them, and another hit for Barcelona's potential of getting a top center back for this summer. Now, when I was thinking about why another team was going for a potential bidding war against Marc Guehi, it's apparent that he's going to be making around 200K a week at Manchester City, which is obviously a lot. And I'm like, all right, makes sense why Barcelona had absolutely no chance to get Marc Guehi at all, because 200K, we're not giving that anywhere near for a player like Marc Guehi. Our top earner is Lewandowski, and he's leaving in the summer. So next up is like Frankie de Jong, and I think they definitely make more than that, but not much more, right? So I saw news that he was also going to make 300K, which is even more excessively, like, that's insane. So yeah, Barcelona had no chance for Marc Guehi. It was I think it was pretty evident that Marc Guehi was going to make the final decision. And if he was going to make a final decision, I think the most comfortable decision for him was to stay in the Premier League, for a top Premier League, a top Premier League team, because all these top Premier League teams are going to go for him, like City have, or Liverpool, or Chelsea. Eventually, one of them going to go for him. And in the end, he ended up going to Manchester City, which, again, great for Manchester City. We'll see how Marc Guehi does, but yeah, that's quite a blow. And then we get hit with the news as well. I don't know how much, again, I'm not going to say that all these news are 100% reliable. Everything we're reading is 100% reliable, but it's very interesting to at least talk about the topic. And another person that Barcelona have been eyeing is none other than Nico Schlotterbeck, which apparently latest news have been hitting that a contract extension for Nico Schlotterbeck is becoming more concrete again. Schlotterbeck feels flattered by the appreciation and also knows that Borussia Dortmund are back on track, at least in the Bundesliga, compared to last season. So, of course, Nico Schlotterbeck is also another prospect that Barcelona are looking for, and of course, when he's someone that Barcelona have been looking to go into the summer to try and get. Now, with potential contract extension, it's looking tough. It's looking tough because Barcelona, we already know if we were going to bid anything for Schlotterbeck, it was going to be a high price. Now, with the contract extension, it's probably going to be even more. So now there's a potential that's going to be dying down as well. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting summer when it comes to for next season of what we're going to get, because we definitely know that a center back is a must need in the summer. So we'll see. And the next news that has been going up when the transfers is none other than Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Obviously, someone who's been very upset about the latest transfers of Marc Guehi is Oliver Glasner, who, yeah, you can see expressed his feelings. And of course, Oliver Glasner is also leaving Crystal Palace because he feels like the club is butt effing him, and yeah, he's very upset about this, as you can read from the quote right here. But yeah, I don't know why I added that. It was pretty interesting. But the latest news also what comes from Barcelona is Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, a loan move to Girona. Finally, we're getting rid of Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Finally, he has opened his eyes and realized that if he wants to play in this next World Cup, he better get some mother effing playing time. I think this last Copa del Rey match opened his eyes even more that he was never going to get any playing time ahead of Joan Garcia. In the last Copa del Rey match against Racing Santander, and I remember reporters asked Hansi Flick, why is Joan Garcia starting? And he's like, because he's our number one. He's our main guy. The only reason Joan Garcia is going to be hitting the bench and other players like Ter Stegen or Szczesny are going in front of him is if Joan Garcia is injured or if he's tired, he wants to get some rest. But come on, when it comes to goalkeepers, you want to always keep your number one guy. You always want to keep them fresh and going. You don't want to pull Real Madrid and put Lunin, who put up a stinker, and now Real Madrid out of the Copa del Rey, right? You always want to play your top guys for important matches. So it's pretty clear to Ter Stegen that he's pretty much out when it comes to getting anywhere near the number one spot back for Barcelona. So if you wanted to get something done for this summer, and for this World Cup, if you want to get an opportunity to play this World Cup, he needed to make a move, and that's why he's now making a move to Girona. Apparently, there was also some rumors that he rejected a move to West Ham, which I think is better for his case because Honestly, if Ter Stegen wants to prove himself, then he needs to prove himself for a smaller team. I don't think he can prove himself in a tougher league because he'll get exposed. He'll get exposed. But of course, I'm happy about this because this also, is good for us because now Ter Stegen's probably going to get some game time and prove himself, and of course, a potential transfer for the summer as well, where other teams will be interested in him, and then we can finally fully get rid of him. We'll see. Of course. Some weird news was the fact that Barcelona are going to be covering 90% of his salary, and Girona are only going to be covering 10%, which is, I mean, all right. Barcelona are never the best at negotiations, are they? They're never the best. But again, the most important thing about this is the fact that Ter Stegen is going to get his game time. Other teams going to see what he's made of, and then potentially buy him in the summer, because I think it's pretty much clear that he's done at this club. He's done at the club. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And the last and latest news that has been a shocker, definitely a shocker. This news hit us around 2 days ago, and I'm like, or yesterday, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot, bro. My time lapses everywhere. As you can see, I'm not even where I was last week. I'm recording videos. I'm finally back home. A lot of traveling. But yesterday, I think it was, we got hit with some pretty crazy news that Joe Fernandez is leaving FC Barcelona, and his potential destination, or not even potential, I think the only destination at this point is going to be Paris Saint-Germain. Someone make it make sense, because I don't understand it. We got hit with the news yesterday, like I said, that Joe was going to leave this January. That it was confirmed that Joe was going to leave this January of his own, because he willingly wants to leave this club, that he has told Barcelona he wants to leave in January, and that he is acting upon his 6 million release clause, which Paris Saint-Germain today have sent in a request for it, that they're going to pay the 6 million to Barcelona. Now we're going to see how that all finalizes out, but I think it's pretty much confirmed that Joe will be leaving. I tried to sleep on it. I tried to wait at least a day to see if Barcelona were going to potentially make a bid, that Barcelona were potentially going to do something to convince Joe to stay, but it's been nowhere near that case. It's always been the case that Joe will be leaving this January, and his destination will be Paris Saint-Germain. Now, as to why Barcelona have not done anything to this, some news that I saw, I couldn't find the tweet. I totally lost it, but I did make a reel on it, so go check out my reels or my TikTok. I made a TikTok about it, but I saw that Joe was apparently going to make 10 times more than what he's currently making at Barcelona now, and apparently the board of directors of Barcelona laughed at that, and I'm like, all right, goodbye then. Which again makes sense. Of course, we're talking about a young talented player here who, again, I'm disappointed that he's leaving, because Joe, we're seeing from the little moments that we've gotten to see from him so far in his Barcelona career, he's very talented, he's very gifted, he definitely has a bright future ahead of him with hard work and of course a lot more playing time. But is he anywhere near the finished product? Is he anywhere near the levels of a Lamine Yamal or a Fermin Lopez when they first broke out, where we're seeing them now at their best? No. So of course, it's bad news, but of course, it's also a matter of, it's not like we're losing a massive player here like the likes of Lamine Yamal, who, if we lost a player like Lamine Yamal, you will obviously be kicking yourself and saying like, all right, we just lost out on a generational talent. Joe is a very talented player, but he's not at that level. But the reason I'm disappointed in Joe is because the reasons that he's apparently leaving is because he wants to get more playing time. And I'm just thinking to myself, if you want to get more playing time, why would you not stay at Barcelona? You're an academy player, you know what it means to play for the club, and you know what it means, the values of the club and what they stand for, and that means playing the youth, relying on the youth players, especially a manager like Hansi Flick, who has given countless opportunities to the youth. And obviously, when they are proving themselves, when they are showcasing themselves, when they deserve it, he gives them the opportunity to start. We're seeing the likes of Marc Casado, Fermin Lopez, Paco Barci, Lamine Yamal, all these young players getting into the team, Marc Bernal as well. All these young players that Hansi Flick has brought up and he has trusted, and now they're being an essential part to Barcelona for now and the future, where he likes them a lot and he's getting the best out of them as well. And they still have a lot more to develop. They still have a lot more things to improve on. So the best that we're seeing them right now, we're only going to see better. So I'm like thinking to myself, why would you not stay? How can you in your mind not think that this is the best place to develop yourself and get better and improve and you eventually break out? If you have that much confidence in yourself that you deserve to be getting minutes, that you deserve to get more playing time, why would you just stay and prove yourself, right? Because at first I understand that I understood the idea like, all right, you want to leave because you want to get more playing time. But the fact that you're going to PSG, just completely changes my mind on what actually is the case of you leaving. Is it really playing time? Is that really the case? Because if you wanted playing time, you go to a smaller team, another La Liga team, or at least on loan somewhere else, or another team like a Borussia Dortmund, where they trust youth players as well, something like that. But the fact that you're going to PSG, I'm not convinced at all that he wants to leave because he wants to get more playing time. I'm seeing it more as the fact that money. We all know money runs the world, and of course, when it comes to the footballing world, at the end of the day, this is the player's job, because I think we got to also recognize that we all see football in many different ways. When it comes to supporting a team, when it comes to supporting a club, the number one people that will always support the club no matter what, live and die for the badge, are always going to be the fans. These players as well can do that as well. We've seen the likes of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, who give it all for the team as well, but they'll never have as much love or care for the badge and die for the badge as much as the fans will, because the fans, you can't switch teams. You'll never give up on your team. You'll never start hating your team. Well, a player can switch up, can make a transfer, can move away, right? So that care and that love will never be the same as the fans. So we also got to recognize that these players, of course, at the end of the day, this is their job. So if Joe sees this as an opportunity for financially where he's going to improve and help his family, fair enough. All right, kudos to you. Do your thing. Go ahead. But it is disappointing if the case that he comes out and saying that he wants more playing time. At least be honest, right? At least be honest that you're seeing yourself as a better opportunity. Of course, being honest will hurt him, because now people are going to be like, oh, you're greedy, you're whatever you want to call it, you're only in it for the money, blah, 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 which makes sense, blah, blah, blah. Like, people would go at him for it, but at least I want him to be honest. That's my opinion, at least. I would want him to be honest rather than say he's going for the game time. So, I mean, one person that's definitely disappointed about this is Don Hansi Flick, who has expressed that he's been very frustrated with the decision, because Hansi Flick's the one that brought Dro into the team, has confidence in Dro, and even give him some game time so far this season. A guy who just came out of nowhere and boom, brought him into the team, and we showcased his talents, right? So and we've seen that he clearly likes the kid too, and he sees a future for him at Barcelona. So this transfer news definitely hit him hard, and we've seen the frustrations of him. And also in his latest press conference against Real Sociedad that we have for the game for tomorrow, he said, as a coach, you give players a lot of confidence and you believe in them, but then there are other people around them who have a big influence on their intentions. We are Barca. We're giving them the opportunity to be here and grow alongside the best players. Facts, bars. He also said, if you want to play for Barca, you have to give everything 100%. That's what I want to say to everyone who is with us now or could be with us in the future. Same applies for La Masia youngsters training with the first team. They have to be here 100%. What else? These colors must be defended. That's what I want to see. As for the rest, I don't want them. Man, that's straight mother effing bars right there, bro. That's my gaffer, bro. Hansi Flick, bro. Man, I love this guy so much, bro. I love this guy so much. He understands already in just 2 years, not even 2 years, a year and a half, what it means to represent the colors, what it means to represent the team, love for the team. So, yeah, you can definitely tell that he was frustrated by the whole Dro situation. I mean, it's understandable when you see such a young talent and you like him and you feel like you are the one that gave him the opportunity, and then he's just practically backstabbing you in the back saying, sorry, I want to leave. It hurts. It hurts, definitely. But again, Hansi Flick, come on, bro. You work at FC Barcelona. You have a lot of La Masia talents that are going to always be coming up. So don't fear. Do not worry. Joe is just one of many that will be coming through the ranks. And talking about the whole agent situation and people like Hansi Flick, people going into his ears and giving their own intentions, we're seeing right here that Hansi Flick and the rest of the club are really mad at Dro's agent, Ivan de la Peña, in particular. So for those who don't know Ivan de la Peña, he's also, guess whose manager? Not a manager, agent. Luis Enrique, the manager of PSG. So of course, another major influence for Dro to be going to PSG, because we all know the agents, what do they look for? They look for the money. Of course, they look for the players' time for their future as well in terms of what club they can play for, get the best deal possible. But like I said, the best deal possible always involves money. So Ivan de la Peña definitely convinced Dro, being like, all right, bro, let's get away from here. Go get your bag. PSG, they got the money. They're going to offer you it. They're going to offer me it. Let's go take it. So I'm sure he's gone into Dro's ear saying, bro, you're talented. You're amazing. You're world class. All these things, even though you barely played in the first level, in the highest level yet. But go get your bag, bro, and go get some playing time. Maybe not so much playing time, but at least go get the bag. Go get the bag. So that's how I see it. I see it one or two things, that either the agent has been in his ear telling him these things, saying, hey, go get your bag. Go get some playing time at PSG. They're going to give you a better opportunity, blah, 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 which doesn't make any sense to me because he's not starting anywhere near PSG. It's the first team right now, especially since PSG so far this season haven't been looking amazing. So, you know, for a fact, they're going to go all out every single game and give the players who have been trusted already in Luis Enrique. So I do see Dro potentially getting more minutes than he's been getting so far at Barcelona, maybe, but not as much as he probably thinks, right? Or the second thing, which is him being ungrateful, impatient, and dumb at this point, because again, if it's really a matter of you wanting to develop Barcelona the best way, because especially when you have a manager who clearly trusts you, who clearly likes you, and will give you the game time. I'm sorry, you have two players in front of you with Fermin Lopez and Dani Olmo, who of course are your competition. But if you really believe in yourself, then you would give 100% more in training, and eventually you'll get your opportunity. Again, Hansi Flick always gives the opportunity to those that most deserve it. And he's giving you opportunities this season so far where you look good. You haven't been looking amazing. You have been looking the best. We're seeing specks of you looking great. But of course, there's still a lot of things you have to improve on, where Fermin and Dani Olmo are clearly above you right now. But again, if you truly believe in yourself, develop yourself at Barcelona and you'll get your opportunity eventually. So again, it doesn't make any sense to me. And again, just going to PSG is pretty dumb. I don't know if it's impatience at this point, because we've seen mistakes like this happening in the past with other youth players who want to leave because they want to get a better opportunity where they don't think they're good enough, blah, 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 whatever the case may be, or they think they should be getting more opportunities than they think they're currently getting at the club. And then we're seeing that is not the same trajectory that they wished for, that they wanted. So hopefully for Dro, this isn't something that was going to bite him in the ass later in the future. Hopefully it's something that he won't regret, but I think he will, bro. I think he will. I just don't see him striving as much as at PSG. I don't see where he can really get in there. And we know at the end of the day, yes, Luis Enrique is a manager who does trust his youth. We've seen him break out some youth players as well. But we know PSG, they're a money team. If they're going to grasp them, if they see a great market opportunity, guess what? They're going to take it. So, Dro, I'm just saying right now, it's going to be even harder for you to get into the PSG team. It's going to be even harder for you to get those first team minutes. And I just hope, again, it doesn't bite you in the ass in the future. But, hey, man, what can we do, man? Hey, what can we do? We're broke for a reason. Of course, I'm a little bit disappointed in Barcelona for not getting the contract renewal done for Dro on time. Apparently, Deco tried to do it, but it all collapsed, blah, blah, blah. But, of course, when it comes to if the news is true that he's going to be making 10 times more than he currently is making at Barcelona, then of course it's understandable why Barcelona wouldn't offer him anywhere near that, and why he would accept PSG's over Barcelona's. But yeah, guys, that was the news for Dro. Disappointing, very disappointing. I really was expecting some great things from the kid to see what he's potentially going to do for the future. But hey, you live and you learn, and again, La Masia has a lot of talents that we can look onto for the future. So yeah, guys, that was the video for today. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought, about the latest transfer news, and of course what you guys thought about this week when it comes to the Copa del Rey. Tomorrow we have a huge game against Real Sociedad. Real Madrid won today against who did they play? Levante. They won a 2-0 win against Levante. A penalty, of course. And tomorrow we have to, of course, do our thing now to keep that advantage over Real Madrid against Real Sociedad away from home. It's going to be a tough game. I will be streaming that game. So it's been a while since I streamed, but I will be streaming that game. So best believe I will be there to watch Barcelona get another dub for La Liga. So yeah, be there, guys. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for every time we upload. Share your friends, love football, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Much love. Take care and peace.